Nocturnal.
Hi, I'm Rebecca with the Nocturnal. How are you
Hey,
guys?
Rebecca.
Good, how are you?
I'm
Good.
good. I'm good. So, seeing how everything developed in season one and now going into season two, I think it's safe to say the emotional roller coaster continues. So, what are each of you excited for fans to see in season two?
Yes, for me, I just want to see how many women relate to Lily. I mean, I relate to Lily, all my girlfriends relate to Lily. It's like, how do we find that balance between societal expectations, family expectations, our own expectations, and find our happy medium? I feel we're constantly seeking external validation instead of truly finding out what we want in our heart and in our soul. So I feel that's Lily's journey. She's starting from rock bottom and paving her way back to what she wants for her career, for her love life. And I'm just really excited for everyone to see that it's okay to mess up, that it's okay to struggle, as long as you're focused on what you want and do what truly makes you happy.
I'm excited to see inherently a very unwise guy become wise. I think that's Nick's growth pattern this season. It had to go in that direction because he couldn't get dumber. Um, but yeah, well, not dumber, but less aware. He does go through his own big sort of growth pattern from himbo to like a proper guy who understands emotions and is learning to listen intelligently to the heart.
Yeah, I'm excited to see everything. I don't know. It's like this time around, I don't know exactly how things play out. I mean, I've read the scripts, but I haven't seen anything. I haven't been a part of the major scenes that have happened. So I'm excited to see everything, see how these characters develop and what happens. I'm a fan.
Me too. I'm definitely
Thanks,
a
man.
fan.
Thanks, man.
I mean, I'm a really big fan of your, both of y'all's.
Oh,
Not to
yeah.
give too much
Make
of
sure you
that.
watch the show, guys.
So, as we mentioned, this season we see the personal growth of each character and some tough truths shared and some relationships tested. So, if you three could give your own characters any piece of advice, what would you say?
I feel sometimes we're not present and we don't enjoy life a little bit more. We have too much pressure on ourselves. So I would just say a little bit more like just let go a little bit and enjoy your time with your friends, your family, with life on your own, that it's all going to be okay, that our life is so short, that just enjoy it.
Similar, I would tell them not to try to micromanage everything. I would just tell them to just, let things be what they are.
Right.
He'd probably be like, no.
I have no idea what kind of advice I'd give Nick. I'm trying to imagine being friends with Nick, and I think it would just be a lot of bro. Can you figure your shit out? That would essentially be like I don't just being
You're
friends with
just
Nick
not,
would
you're just like the
might be
opposite of Nick, right? Like
in a lot of ways, yeah, in a
yeah.
lot of ways. So it's like, hey man, maybe stop being so messy and like grow up a little bit. Hey, that I think that's pretty much where it would be.
The mess gives us room for growth. So, I
Yeah,
think that's the
exactly.
mix of this. All right. Thank you guys so much for speaking with me today. Seeing how much success season one had, what are you both excited for fans to see in season two?
Wow. Well, we're so grateful for the reception that we got for season one. And I think going into season two, you know, the thing that I love the most about it is that we get to see go deeper into the complexities of the interpersonal relationships that you've already established in season one. So for me, I think that the Jorge Lily relationship is kind of where we start season one, and it's kind of for me the climax of season two to see the ways in which relationships change and as we change as people. And even though you can love someone so much and ride or die for them, but that doesn't mean that you are not going to have your differences. And I think that Jorge and Lily are a really big testament to that this season.
Fantasy in season two is the growth. Like we pick it up right where we left off at the end of season one. So there's a cliffhanger, and we answer that cliffhanger. So fans tune in. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but we really go deeper in season two, and like the amount of fun and representation and joy that we felt will be enhanced. We're also going to explore, like Mark was saying, that rocky ground in these relationships, not just the loving relationships, but the familial ones too. We're getting into some territory that we didn't get to in season one. And I think that's also what makes our show really refreshing and very authentic for our audiences, because like whether you're gay or straight, like we have straight and queer characters on our show, but the things that they're going through in their characters' lives are very relatable to I think anyone watching, and I think that's so important for television. And that's actually one of the the purposes of With Love. It was written with that in mind, to kind of give the audience a big hug through the screen and depict these characters and these people who you're watching it on television, but you don't usually see those characters depicted that way on television. And so we're bringing that level of authenticity that we're not used to seeing. And we're also at a time right now where more than ever we need to see examples of love, joy, and acceptance within these diverse communities and the LGBTQ community and these multi-generations. Like, we need to see us coming together, and our show really celebrates that. So season 2 is going to be this exuberant party and enhancement of season 1. So we're going to see more life events, more family dynamics, and it's going to get pretty ridiculous in the best way. And that's the best encompassing way I can kind of put it together, because it was pretty wild to film, and it was so much fun.
And it was amazing to watch. Thank you both so much for speaking with me today.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Rebecca with the Nocturnal. How are you?
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So, out of all the relationships in the show, I find myself rooting for your characters the most. Like, I want the best for them all times.
Thank you.
Same.
So this season, we're able to see, both of your characters have some important conversations. And so what in season 2 can fans expect to see come of their relationship?
I would say more roller coasters, more of an up and down journey. The relationship, they've been in it for a while now, and you kind of get to see them in more or in different situations that would maybe cause a little bit more conflict or conversation. And I think in a real relationship, that's something you don't really get to see. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, and I think we get to, everything gets really real in a great way. And I think it's really relatable and it's really inspiring. And I mean, you're definitely going to see Miles' head kind of burst wide open in a lot of ways, which is a really good thing. And it's really fun.
Yes, definitely. I think one of my favorite scenes was the one, not to give too much away, was the one where it was like the family party and you're like, don't talk about my family, but I could do it. And I was just
You saw a lot.
Yes.
Ooh.
Cracking up, because I'm like, I feel like that's kind of the dynamic in my own household.
Always.
So like the relatable aspect was definitely there. I was like, I see this in my own house.
Yeah, that's how it is. Like, wait a second, time out. You going too far? You can do it. Yeah, I can do it. You can't.
Yeah. I think Miles loves so much being part of this family, gets carried away, He's like, yeah, no, I'm in there, but then goes a little too far. And it's like, okay, you're still,
But honestly, I feel like if you have a family member or the person you love and they're kind of a little bit of a pushover, sometimes you need to shake it up a little bit. So honestly, I think Miles did the right thing. I mean, your audience will eventually see what we're talking about, but I feel like that's a touchy thing, because it kind of gets to a point where I can't sit around and let the person I love continue to be like put down and talked down on. Like, if you're not gonna stand up for yourself, I'll stand up for you and force you to kind of meet me where I'm at, because that's the way you should be. And I think that was a beautiful moment for them to figure out together.
Yes.
Yeah, it really was. I loved that scene. I loved doing that with you. And I feel like,
That was fun.
I feel like Miles was, like everything is just completely open-hearted and maybe just operates on that instinct alone and doesn't necessarily always think about like any sort of ramifications after that. And that's part of what I love about the character.
Yes, I was watching the show at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and all you like, my parents woke up because I was like, "Yes, Miles."
I love it.
Hi, I'm Rebecca with the Nocturnal. How are you guys?
Hello, how are you?
I am good. I'm good. So, what changes do you feel like your characters have made in their overall development from season one to season two? Benita, we can start with you.
Well, first off, did you see any of season 2, Rebecca?
I did.
Look at see, she smiles. That's a good sign.
So,
Don't tip it. Don't tip anything.
no, what, me? Never. That's a great question. What development? We're coming from a dark space in season 1 that was a bulk of what our season 1 was, and then we have a wonderful reconciliation in the end. So season 2 starts off just past that moment where we have reconciled, but we're still, a little fragile with each other because the pain was so real last season. And then, that discovery of falling in love with your partner all over again, really is a wonderful journey to be part of. And then that transfers into how we treat our children and then what's happening with my in-laws, her parents, which is, part of life, right? The older are getting older, and our kids are struggling in the relationships. And my wife and I are having to re-express our appreciation of each other in multiple ways. Multiple ways. So that development and that growth of the characters is fun to play. And when I have somebody like Constance to work with, nothing is off limits. Nothing is too complicated. We can go into the deepest weeds, and we can go to the funnest funs, and we can go to the silliest silly. It works. The relationship, the creation of these characters, and the casting of these two people, it's just been wonderful. I can't wait to see what other incredible explorations they put us into.
Yeah, and I have to add the way Gloria Calderon-Kellett writes those scenes, you get to do all those levels in one scene, which is so much like life to me. Like sometimes you'll be in a sad place, and then you'll see something and you'll start laughing, and then you go back to being sad again, or then you I got to pick up my kid, and you're off onto the next thing, and that's kind of how the scenes are. All those qualities of a human moment are all in those scenes, and they're just wonderful.
And I just love how relatable the entire dynamic between all the characters is. And I think with your characters specifically, it's the fact that, yes, falling in love isn't the easiest thing, but maintaining the love.
Yes.
And how you go about it is what I found so interesting, and I just love to watch.
Yeah, I don't think that's something we explore. It's like you meet someone, you fall in love, and then you have a happily ever after, and then it's over. For some reason. But no, and what if that happily ever after goes through 25, 30 years? And how do you maintain that relationship and nurture it and redefine yourselves? Plus, you as a human, you're continuing to grow in different ways, and that has to be attended to. And I think exploring love in a long-term committed relationship is so important, not just to representation wise, but like for human race, like, because we all have to know how to do it. And when it's explored and you see it on TV, you feel included into that, and it reaffirms like, oh, we're seen, we feel validated. Let's work on things. And it's not always like on to the next thing. I think it's wonderful representation.
Oftentimes our characters are drawn or created to deal with outside problems. The chef is dealing with the restaurant, and the wife is dealing with the house, and we're not dealing with each other. And in this wonderful development, we have to deal with each other and each other's emotional needs and physical needs and parental needs. And ultimately, we're children as well, and we're parents as well. So we're in that middle place. And that's what makes it feel so real. We all know what that feels like.
Yeah.
And we all know what it's like to have a crappy day and need somebody to help us out. And that partnership is really important. And again, the writing's there, the casting is there, the directing is there. So I really feel this show hits on all levels, and it's a joyful ride. And I just want everybody in the world to watch it because I think you're going to be blown away and just fall in love with this family.
And if you want to see the bad guy, that Benito always plays bad guys, and I'm usually the mom. And if you want to see that demographic, redefine sexuality, and have some sexy time, come watch With Love. We got it going on.
I definitely agree. Thank you both so much for speaking with me today.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Rebecca. Appreciate it.